So yeah, we're going to just start by introducing ourselves a little bit, and then we'll move on to the presentation, if that's all right. So hi, my name is Eleonore. I'm from France. You can call me Ellie or Eleonore, whatever's easiest for you. And so I was a former intern at Badger 2 years ago, and then I got hired last year, and now I manage the HR and recruiting team for both our US offices. So yeah, that's just a little bit about myself. And now, Christian, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Christian. I'm a senior here at the U. I'm a communications major, and I am a sales intern currently at Badger Maps here in Salt Lake City. And I have been an intern since May, was when I started my internship. So here we go. Next slide.
All right, so yeah, this is what we're going to talk about today. Basically, first of all, we're going to introduce you guys, Badger to you guys as a company, what we do, our product, and then we'll move on to our teams and locations. Of course, we'll make a quick stop on, COVID-19 and how it impacts us and what we're, doing as a company. Then we'll move on to the different positions we're hiring for right now. And finally, quick stop on our company culture, office life, and of course, Q&A. Do you want to move on to the next slide, Christian? Thank you. All right. So who we are as a company, let's get to know us a little. So we are a SaaS startup company, so software as a service tech startup company. We, Badger Maps was born in 2012 in San Francisco, California. That's where I'm located, and that's where our headquarters are. Basically, our mission is to make field salespeople more efficient. We'll get to that in a minute when we introduce the product, and you'll understand much better what it is that we do here at Badger. And then two super quick numbers. 2019 revenue was $3.7 million. So we're pretty successful. We're okay. And then second one is employees worldwide. We have overall 52 employees, in different locations, and we'll get to that in a minute. And take it away, Christian.
So this is just a quick video of the service that we offer, the application here at Badger Maps, and I'm just going to show it to you guys real quick. There is no audio, so don't worry if you do not hear anything. Essentially, it's an application for outside sales reps in order that they can input their clients' information and they can route them. It also has a route optimization feature, so they can drive less, visit more routes, and just be stuck in traffic less.
All right, thank you for the super clear overview, Christian. So yeah, this is basically what we do. We can of course answer any questions on that later on. Now, quick stop on our teams and location. As mentioned, I'm in San Francisco. Christian's in Utah. So here's how we are, all spread out. International startup, our headquarters are in San Francisco, as mentioned. This is where our marketing, legal, finance, and HR, and CEO are located. And then in our Utah downtown SLC office, we have the customer success team, our sales and product management team. Now in Europe, a little closer to home for me, in Spain, we have the product and software development team. So basically all our engineers, and also a part of the sales team. And finally, our office in the Philippines is where we have the customer support team. So once again, that's a little bit the overview. And for SLC specifically, just to give you that info, we are located in downtown SLC. Thanks, Christian. Thank you. Now, quick stop on COVID-19 and remote work for us. So right now, as written here, all our offices are closed. We are planning for a non-mandatory reopening of our offices, worldwide, once again, so SLC, SF, Spain, all of the offices, once again. Planning a reopening potentially on, in September 2020. Depending on the situation and how it evolves, we might push back this date. And once again, this will be non-mandatory, depending on everyone's level of comfort, if people are at risk or not. We definitely want to adapt to everyone, and just make sure everyone feels safe and and comfortable. This was based on, just so you know, company-wide survey. We surveyed everyone in the company with bunch of questions to figure out once again what the best policy could be for us, moving forward. Now, highlight on the recruiting process, fully online, of course. It's going to be through Hangouts, video calls, phone calls, only, no on-site interview whatsoever. At least, not until September 2020 comes up. Now, quick stop on what does it mean to be working remotely, like not being in the office. For SLC internship positions, we have one legal requirement that we cannot get around. It's just that the SLC interns have to reside in Utah for those internship positions. So even if you're working from home, home has to be Utah. So if you're outside of Utah, you would have to relocate so that we can legally employ you in Utah. Once again, legal rules. Last thing, touch about remote onboarding. We've definitely been adapting to that this whole year, and I'll let Christian join on that to give his own experience.
Right, so like Eleanor said, I was onboarded remotely in May when I started my internship, and it was a fairly straightforward process. They did a very good job of putting together PowerPoints and guidelines of all the things you need to set up. You need to set up, your company email, the applications that you're going to need, the extensions on your computer. There was always someone available to help you through that process. The supervisors are very flexible in understanding that if you come up on a roadblock, that there isn't someone next to you as compared to if you were in an office to help you with those issues. So they're very lenient, and they're very understanding that this is, crazy times, and they've very adapted that process to able to set you up in a way that you don't feel overwhelmed. But for the first couple weeks, all in all, it took me about 2 weeks to be fully onboarded and ready to start working into the responsibilities that would entail my internship.
Yeah, thanks for the positive feedback. Good to hear. And yeah, so definitely on remote onboarding, just like, for example, just to illustrate what we put in place specifically, considering a full remote internship, we created a buddy program. It's a Badger buddy program. So everyone has their, their buddy, their Badger buddy, who they can go to ask any questions, just get to know the company culture, have a friend, on the inside to show you the ropes. So that's just one example of what we've done to make sure, remote onboarding goes well. But once again, I think, as Christian mentioned, we're very transparent and always making sure, that what we're doing works best for you. So yeah, that's on remote onboarding. Thanks, Christian. Christian, I'll let you introduce the positions.
Sure. So I'll be talking about the sales development internship position and the sales and business development position, and hopefully be able to give you guys a good idea of what each one entails. So sales and business development internship is the one I'm currently doing, and that one's going to entail at least I would say 50% of it's going to be very sales focused. It's going to entail you building lists of prospects to target, reaching out to those prospects, potential clients who might benefit from using Badger Maps, either reaching them out by phone, by email, generate interest with them, address their hesitance to maybe become partners with us, determine if they're a good fit or not. And once you've determined if they're a good fit, the next step would be to guide them towards an account executive, who is the one who will, at the beginning of the internship, you guide them towards a supervisor who will be able to close the deal, whether it be a team or individual licenses. And that's where the business development portion of the internship comes in. You'll be able to participate in different aspects of the sales pipeline, where it comes to generating interest, building leads, and then guiding them through the process of from being a potential lead to a client, how signing up, a little bit of contracts. If they're like a team, you get a good idea of all of them. And now for the sales development internship, it's going to be mostly just the beginning or the first part of the sales and business development internship. It's going to be very sales focused. It's an internship that's really going to focus on doing calls, doing demonstrations for prospective clients, generating those leads, building, collaborating with marketing to find new leads. So it's really going to be that first door for the application of welcoming people in, showing them around, trying to decide if they're a good fit or not.
Yeah, thank you, Christian. A touch, just a little. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Were you going to say something?
No, go ahead, Eleanor.
Okay, sorry, thank you. Connection, I feel. Okay, we're good. So yeah, just a little additional info on the sales development internship, just to specify kind of like also the difference between those two positions, which could sound a little similar. So the sales development internship position is, as Christian mentioned, very much at the beginning of the sales funnel. And what's gonna differentiate this role is that it's a new team that we're actually building in the company, which makes this role super unique and interesting because when you're a startup and you're building a team, basically you have everything to build, all the processes, all the training, and we definitely involve all our interns in building processes and in new projects like this. So that's also another dimension of this role that's pretty unique and interesting, basically building the team. Now I'm gonna also explain what the HR recruiting and event planning position is about. So this would be a position on my team based in SLC once again. This is a part-time internship. We could be open to more of a full-time internship position, but this is technically more of a part-time schedule, very compatible with the classes. And so this position, as the title says, 3 dimensions. One is HR, so HR projects. To give you a little, some examples of the current HR projects we have that, this person would potentially be working on. We are working on developing our learning culture. So we're building a learning platform. We're also building an internal communications website. And we're also developing a diversity and inclusion task force in the company. So just to illustrate a couple projects, a couple of big projects we have going on right now that this intern would be working on. Second aspect of the job, recruiting. Once again, still on my team, still working with me for that. Basically helping us recruit for our next class of interns, so winter 2021. This would mean a full training on how to be a recruiter, also full training on the software. It's a very complete role. And then last section, event planning. And by that, I mean remote or on-site. So if by the time, if in September we're still remote, part of us is, are still remote, it would be remote, like online event planning, or if it's on-site, then, on-site. So that's a little bit the overview about all those jobs. Just one additional thing here. We actually have not listed it on this slide, but we will be reopening a marketing internship position very soon. So just so you know, there will be more details when it's live on the website. But if someone here is interested in marketing, this could be a potential position. It would be with our SF team. However, working remotely in that case could work. But just once again saying, there will be a marketing position opening also soon. Final thing on, what if you're interested? Well, if you're interested, you can apply directly on our job site. It's the link you can see on the slide. That's, jobs.lever.co/badger mapping. You can directly upload your resume on there. And if you want, you can email me. Here's my email once again, eleonore@badgermapping.com. You can email me on the site saying, hey, I'm interested, here's my application, or just, letting me know that you applied on the website. So yeah, that's a little bit about the positions.
Okay, next slide. Also, if I didn't mention, both sales positions, currently they are full-time internships. Let's go.
Thank you. All right, and now Christian is going to tell you a bit more about our culture and office life.
All right, guys. So the Badger Maps office in Salt Lake City is located downtown, right next to Pioneer Park. If you guys are familiar with the area, they have a very good coaching and mentoring system. Like Eleanor mentioned before, as soon as you start onboarding, you're assigned a mentor, and that mentor, it could be any of the immediate account executives that you'll be working with if you're in the sales internship. Like my mentor was Doug, and it was I really like how he was busy closing very large deals, but he would still take time to check up on me, reach out, and that's the kind of like work environment that Badger has built, and something that really like surprised me that it was so it really is like a very close-knit family. You'll once you're onboarded, another thing you did is that you will talk to our CEO Steve. You'll set up a meeting with him, and he'll call you and ask you how you're doing, like what do you want to get out of the internship. And that's just kind of like the environment that they've really fostered here. I haven't gotten an opportunity to work at the office, but I know they're very dog friendly, so I was really looking forward to that, and I still look forward to once we get back in the office.
just as proof, you can see on the picture, there's a dog on the picture. This is a picture taken inside our office, just to prove that this is really a dog-friendly office.
Yes.
Yeah, and just something else to add to the culture, I think, like, just from, to have, everyone's perspective. As mentioned before, I was an intern at Badger. I started as an intern, and then I was, hired afterwards. And something that for me really stood out when I was an intern about the culture was how being an intern, like, if it's not because you're an intern that you're not going to get amazing responsibilities and big projects. As an example, at the time when I joined in the the HR team in San Francisco, the company did not have any sort of performance review process. When it's like, you very often in companies you have a yearly, once a year review to give feedback, see how you're doing, and they had nothing like this. So I was like, I think we should have something. And basically I built from scratch as an intern, once again, like a month in the internship. I built the whole program myself, and now after I came back, the program is still up and running, and we actually made a second version this year that I was able to to work on. So basically what I created 2 years ago as an intern is still being used right now as a full-timer, and now we're still even improving it. So I think that kind of shows the kind of responsibilities you could be taking in our company. We really do not limit ourselves with that, and I do think we're a pretty good, pretty nice environment to work in.
Right. Absolutely. I can't speak enough about it. And also don't feel limited by your majors. Like I said, I was a communication major when I applied. And especially when it comes to sales positions, you need to have good interpersonal skills. And I feel like personally, that'll take you farther than, if your major is biology or business.
Yeah, and also just so you know, Christian is not allowed to say anything negative about the company. Like, we definitely prepped him before. Like, he's not allowed to share any criticism.
Yeah, there's someone behind.
Yeah, like it's the whole speech is rehearsed.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a little bit about the company presentation. Now, if you guys have any questions, if you wanna, I don't know, write them on the chat. Okay, well, there we go. About how many interns get a job offer? If by that you mean a full-time job offer, I think that's what you could mean by that. So right now, just to give you an idea of how many current employees are past interns, we have around 50% of our full-time team that's former interns. So I think that shows that shows pretty well that we hire mainly and firstly internally whenever a job opens. However, just a little COVID-19 update. Obviously this year, because of COVID-19, and we want to make sure that our business is still doing good so we can hire next year, we froze our full-time hires for this year. However, as of January 2021, we would love to reopen all those headcounts and keep on building the teams. I hope that answers the question.
And something that's they're very open about is, though they know that a lot of the interns that come in, including myself, don't have a sales background. So they know that, this might not be for you, and it really might not be for anybody. It's a very, it's a niche field in business. And if it's not right for you, you can be very upfront about it and be like, you know what, I like, I appreciate everything, but maybe just sales isn't right for you. And that's okay. It's not, don't be discouraged. It's like, oh, this company doesn't hire. With any company, if they're saying, no, we're not hiring right now, this and that, but I used it as an opportunity to see if, sales was right for me.
Yeah. And then another question from James. I'm in a master's program and have been a working professional for a number of years. Do I have to start with an internship? So related to what I mentioned before, if there is an internship available and you're interested in that, then yes, you have to start with this, because we advertise for all the jobs that are available. So if there's no full-time position advertised on the website, it means they're not currently green light for the budget is not currently green lighted for that position on a full-time basis. And because of COVID, once again, we will not be
what did I do?
opening any new positions before January 2021. So I would say for now, yes, you would have to start with an internship, even if you have, a lot of experience. Any other questions, guys? You can also unmute yourself and just, jump in, or you can just write your question in the chat. Do you want us to specify any specific role? Any questions on the requirements for one of the position, our culture, anything?
And remember, guys, you can still sign up for one-on-one chats. There's a link in the chat. Nope.
Can you tell the students on the line a little bit more about the marketing roles, what kind of skills they would need, how they're going to be learning new skills, things like that?
Yeah, of course. Great question. So the marketing position we have would be with the SF team. The team is, just to give you more context, is made of 3 full-time people. Our marketing team is basically divided by expertise, kind of, in like fields of marketing, rather than like, hierarchy, if I can put it this way. So this internship position could have different focus. Could have a focus on content creation, for example. We have a blog. We also have a PR. Team is a big word because it's just one person, but you also have someone specialized in PR. So PR is different than marketing, but this could also have a PR focus for our podcast, for example, reaching out to new podcast guests and developing that project. We're also trying to develop more, more projects on the marketing SEO side, and also analytics. Those are, like, once again, very different dimensions, but they're, in our small team, they're all kind of like connected and everyone's working on them. So that's just to give you a little illustration of like what kind of like type of marketing you could be working on. What else? We also have our website, of course, so optimizing the website constantly, doing some A/B testing to figure out which pages are working better and working on them to improve them. We also have a project on the onboarding on the app. So basically, when you sign up for a Badger, you can have a little, like, those little pages that pop up, like, how'd you get started with the app? That's the marketing team also who works on that. So that's also another dimension on what kind of projects you could be working on. Does that answer part of the question? Okay. What else can I tell you guys about the marketing role? Same as, as mentioned before, majors, we don't have a strict requirement on majors. We value more like, potential and past experiences, if any. And majors is always also, a great addition if it's, a marketing or a communication one. What else? It would be same as actually, yeah. Go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just going to add that same thing with the sales position. Don't feel like you'll be limited to everything related to sales. You get a deep exposure of sales, but you also have an opportunity because you're in, as interns, we'll get opportunities to kind of dwell and get information on different aspects of a company that has software as a service. Like during my first month, I was reaching out to our chief technical officer, who's like an amazing guy. I was reaching out to the guy that does the UX and UI design of the application, and I was asking them questions, and they're all very open to answering questions. So like, let's say you're really curious of, what about, I have curiosity about programming. I have a curiosity about, user interface design and applications. You can reach out to all the different guys who handle different things. Our legal people also, if you're considering law school, they've been super open answering legal questions. She's been awesome in just bombarding them. You can ask Eleanor. When I first came on, I was just killing her with HR questions just because I was really curious. Yeah, just because you never know, just because you never know that, you might be doing sales right now, but what if, HR is more your thing? What if recruiting is more your thing? And they encourage that. They want you to curiosity. They want you to expand your knowledge base and ask as many questions as possible. And they're very open to that.
Yeah, for sure. Just another, in addition to what I said about the marketing role, once again, I think the job is going to go up as by the end of this week. So it should be available on our website very, very soon. And something that I forgot to mention, 2 things about like what other types of marketing, can be, in this internship is email marketing as well as social media marketing, 2 other, important dimensions of marketing. So once again, that's kind of like to show you the spectrum, of this internship, which can be very broad or more like, specialized depending on your interest. Any further question on the marketing one or any other positions? Hopefully that silence means you're all super convinced and like in love with our company.
Could you elaborate a little bit on the business development role and just some of the projects that you might be involved with.
Yeah, right. I'll let Christian take that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So business development side, it would really fall into how closing deals, essentially. When it comes into teams, it's a little bit more complicated because you're not dealing with just one person. When it comes to teams, they'll be teaching you a lot about CRM integrations, and that's something that I'm still learning. CRM integration is a way for, if you have your information in a database, a way for it to connect to Badger Maps directly. And a lot of big companies, people that need 10, 50, 300 people with the application who have representatives out in the field, they use some sort of integration, the most famous one being Salesforce, Zoho, or Dynamics. So the business development part of this internship allows you to learn about that, to be able to transition you the further you go along into internship, and to be able to deal with clients who are asking you these questions about integration. How does the app work with this? People that need to be assigned management roles, and how the app interacts with the managers and what they're allowed to do and not allowed to do with the application. So really it helps you expand that base on, how the app interacts with very large teams, very large deals, the process of closing a team with a very large deal. From giving them a quote, a proposal, to them signing a proposal, to setting them up, assigning them their customer success associate, which is another aspect that you'll learn about. A CSA is someone who is assigned to the team. So if the team ever has any issues, they'll be the ones to reach out to, and you'll be able to help them with their data. A lot of customers, they just import their data direct from Excel, and part of that internship will allow you to be proficient in managing information on Excel in order to help them out to transition. So those are just some of the things that you can learn on the business development side, for sure.